as well. And you can see over the 5 years period, more than 55,000 samples have been collected. And of course, the goal is to try to find citrus bleeding or HLB as early as possible so that something can be done about it. And also it serves as an insurance against sending infected material to other states. Well, on January 13, as some previous speakers have mentioned, the disease was confirmed in Texas. Immediately, TDA placed a 5-mile radius quarantine around the infected trees. And since then, the quarantine was revised a couple of times, and the last revision took place recently on August 31st. That was published in the Texas Register. And now that quarantine makes it equivalent to the federal quarantine, federal regulations. So the next step would be now TDA would publish a proposed rule. It will go through the comment period, and then there will be final adoption of the so-called final rule. All right. Just to give you idea of where we are looking at, this is the epicenter over here. That's where the infected rows are, more or less. And you can see, you can read FAR, San Juan, Alamo. And by the way, that's the 5-mile radius circle that you are looking at. This is Donna, and Weslaco is somewhere here. So we are sitting somewhere here, about maybe 8 or 10 miles from this quarantine boundary. Okay. Let's see. I'm not going to repeat. You have heard most of these things. The only things I will say is that nursery plants are also quarantine articles, and all plant parts except fruit are quarantine articles. And there are maybe, I don't know how many, maybe 50 or 60 different plant species which are related to citrus, plus Mariah, which is your orange jasmine. Those are the regulated articles. Okay. As soon as the disease was detected, we have to take provisions to make sure it does not spread outside the quarantine area through man-made activities. So immediately, TDA issued a seizure order on January 18. So what that order did, it seized all the orange jasmine citrus plants and harvested fruit. Now, harvested fruit by itself is not a quarantine article. But during the normal harvesting process, what happens is some fruit, they do have still some twigs and some leaves attached, as well as the leaves could be transported, leaves and plant debris, to packing shade. So that's what the concern is. And of course, the order did also say plants cannot move and must be treated for psyllids. And all this happened in the middle of the season, so citrus growers, they put together some sort of risk mitigation plan as a batch gap measure, and they were able to move the fruit for packing. Okay. Talking about the nursery plants inside the quarantine area, several options. Either you destroy the plants or treat and keep free of psyllids. You can, but you have to keep where they are. Movement outside the quarantine area was prohibited, not allowed. And within area movement was allowed with compliance agreement and special permit with TDA. So a nursery grower within the quarantine area has to make sure that the plant that he or she is selling to a purchaser, that purchaser is not outside the quarantine area, meaning that that person is going to plant that plant right inside the quarantine area. And the retailer also has to provide information and assurance on a piece of paper saying that he or she is going to plant the plant inside the quarantine area and will not take it outside. to ensure all these conditions are met and to see that the plants are free of HLB and diseases, plus psyllids and so on. Those nurseries are inspected weekly, and there are a couple of flea markets also in the quarantine area which are inspected several times a week to check for any illegal plants. Plants which are outside the quarantine area, they can enter quarantine area under compliance agreement. It did not happen, but anyone wants to bring in plants, you want to plant orchards inside the quarantine area, they can bring them. And this requirement, compliance agreement requirement, was not required for the retail purchaser bringing in plant from outside, as long as he or she brings that plant and plant it in the ground inside the quarantine area and doesn't move. And of course, any plants transiting through the quarantine area, they have to have some, it has to be through some insect-proof containers. Another thing that was added to the regulation as we were revising it on effective May 1st, we required that all the nurseries in citrus zone, all citrus nurseries, meaning nurseries that produce citrus plants, propagate citrus plants, and these are the 8 counties, which are the southernmost counties in Texas. They have to apply specified treatments, essentially a soil drench, which is imidacloprid, has to be applied within 30 to 90 days before shipment. So that became mandatory to control psyllid. Plus, they have to have a foliar spray within 10 days of shipment. And here are some of the products listed, allowed. This may not be the complete list, but few products are listed which are allowed for the nurseries. Another piece of this whole nursery inspections is conducted through what is called CHIRP, which is Citrus Health Response Program. So through this program, which is funded through a grant from USDA, all nurseries that produce citrus plants, budding or grafting, they are inspected up to 6 times per year for pests and diseases. And of course, that does include citrus breeding. They check for the psyllids. If there are any suspect samples, they will collect tissue samples, collect psyllid samples. They are sent for analysis. Fortunately, we have not detected anything, no sample has come out positive. Retail nurseries are inspected up to 4 times per year. We have 4 inspectors which work through this program, CHIRP program, and they are located in San Juan, right here in this region, then San Antonio, Dallas, and Houston. And as I mentioned, they check for the pests, ensure compliance with quarantine regulations, and collect those samples as well. So this is a complementary to all the things that we are trying to do here, or all this meeting is about. I think the purpose of this meeting is really to educate local nurserymen here, particularly those who are producing plants to plant orchards. So maybe this whole thing has a little, somehow it has a little fit in that whole deal. But I think you can see that this is also part of that larger puzzle. Anyway, I think I'll start my mumbling right here. Do you have any questions? Yes, sir.
Shashank, what, in the event that a nursery is found with one of these issues, what happens?
There is a stop sale issue. Okay, and if it's like a psyllid thing issue, then stop sale is issued. There is a visit to the nursery as far as what to check on what insecticide using. did they use properly or not, and then insecticides are applied. We also consult civil service as well as Dr. Mahmood over here, and they will also visit the nursery and make recommendations. So once those sprays have been made, then the stock sale is released. Yes, sir.
How many nurseries are there in the quarantine area?
There are only 3 nurseries. One, as far as I know, there are 2 who are actually production nurseries, propagated nurseries. There is another one which is a wholesale nursery, not a retail nursery.
And how are you enforcing the thing where they can still sell trees, but that a person has to sign and say they're not going out of quarantine? How is that being checked on enforcement?
That is
I
true.
mean, the guy may very well tell the nurseryman, I'm not taking him out of here.
Right,
And
right.
he does whatever he wants.
Right, that's a good question. In fact, the compliance agreement says it has to go in the ground. So, and our inspector, the teacher, she can affirm, we have gone back and also checked where those trees are planted. Make sure that
Who's responsible for keeping the information of that tree with the way?
we are the Texas Department of Agriculture, but actually it's the nurseryman who has to keep those records.
That was the question answer I was looking for.
Yes.
So the nurseryman, you're saying under the church program, the nurseryman will write down every person who buys the tree?
It's not
where
the,
they plant?
no, it's not under the church program.
Okay.
It's under TDA regulations for the bond field.
So TDA is gonna require every citrus crop nursery guy to that. Every citrus nurseryman who's selling trees to write down who they went to and where they were.
Right. I think I should add, mention that, quite frankly, honestly, that hardly any trees are being sold. Hardly, I think we did that. Hardly it is, yes. The trees, there are 3 nurseries inside the quarantine area. I'm going to talk just in the quarantine area. Right. Let me clarify that. Yeah. There are only 3 nurseries inside the quarantine area. There is only one, I would call a little larger nursery. Rest are very small, couple of 100 trees we are talking about. And trees are not being sold. Okay? If I have to tell you the number, I don't have the exact number, but it will not be more than 5 or 6 trees that have been sold. Yes, sir.
The 6 times per year inspection start with HLV discovery, or has it been in place?
It has been in place, Josh, correct me, what, last couple of years, third program, or more than that? 3 years. Okay. That is correct.
None of the production that is required and correct me if I'm wrong. Right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Production that is required to setting
In the portion, yeah.
No.
Right.
And they have not sold
anything.
Right.
At the very beginning,
Correct.
sold 3, and that.
How are we gonna work with them between now and next September to help them? Because they're going, like any nurseryman, they're gonna want to liquidate the trees they have to try to regain some of their money. How are we gonna work with them to make sure that trees don't end up out of the area? I can't expect them to just sit there and eat that cost.
Okay. All right. Yeah, okay, go ahead, Mom.
I think you have a very good question, and that has been one of the questions big, because the water stop sale that was put in place, and the growers investing money. And the investment investing money.
Or he's already got it in.
It's fully
Go
invested.
there, and now the question is, what to do? So basically, what I've been saying, is that they allow him to take some of old trees in grow, so we can plant as vacancies, or if we have to put new growth, it has to be, within the farm. This is what I understood, he told me.
not only told him, but I will also go ahead, Amaru, and mention that when we talked with this owner of this nursery, his intention is to plant new orchard using those trees in the old way. Alright, so that's where those trees will go. I know this, I mean, okay, right.
What are you gonna do about the, small mom and pop nursery down scattered over the whole valley? Because he hadn't really done anything about inspecting them much today.
We are, every nursery that we know, and that is here, we are crisscrossing the whole area every day. And I have been telling this in every meeting. I think we have a pretty good handle on who produces and who does not, or who doesn't have it. If you know of anyone, even a mom on the roadside, if you see anyone, please call our office, and we'll go the very same day, check it out. And I have been making an offer for several years now, and I have seen the call. So as far as we know, I think we got a pretty good handle on the nursing. Yes.
Are they going to fund additional help, tissue? I don't think you can buy yourself from that requirements.
I think, right, I think that's a good question, and we have asked for one more person to help out in this particular area. All right? Thank you. Okay. Any other questions? No? All right, yeah.
What's your process for trying to develop a system and do inspection and things like flea market, retail centers, where you check to see where the users are coming from? What's your program?
Program is under our regulations, it has to have a certain label. It is in our quantity. The label has to have exact language and exact information. If it is not there, Latisha goes almost every day to the flea market, and occasionally she will find plants which are illegal. They should not be there. That is right. They should not. So,
You're talking about a relatively large area, but it's got to be more than one in the flea market, specific Dane County area here.
no. We are talking about the quarantine area.
I understand that, but is the quarantine area just in shifts on the plan?
When it increases, yeah, when that happens, we'll evaluate the situation and figure out what to do.
So each of these trees then only within the quarantine area currently require a bag?
No, all trees produced in the state, I'll give you a copy of all regulations. All trees produced in the state of Texas, by law, they have to have a certain label. And that label has to say, produced in Texas, plus it has to have that nursery license number that TDA has. Our inspectors, all over in Texas, anytime, I'm talking not about just fitness inspector. Any nursery inspector, when they inspect nurseries, they will go check for the label also. Make sure medical records, nurseries are required by regulation, medical records. If there are any illegal plants, yes, they are taken care of. I mean, we do find occasional plants from Florida. We have found plants from California. With a label that said they are not supposed to come out of the mountain area. I mean, and things happen, you know, those.
Is there a punishment for somebody who's found with those?
Yes.
So let's go back to the IND, agriculture and soil, 30 to 90 days. So are you requiring a date to be on these retail trees? If they go to retail centers or stating when they last had their soil grant?
Okay, the regulation requires that if you have not shipped the plant within 90 days, then you have to take it. Okay? Now, we are not talking to the extent in terms of our regulations. We are not trying to read so much. But you all have, Florida has. we have the date and all that, so we have not done that. Maybe if industry wants it, we might, keep it open. All right, any other questions? All right, good, okay, good, all right, thank you.
Thank you, Shashank.